Hi everyone. I hope you're having a peaceful day. Today, we'll follow Officer Lee as he steps into a world of danger and deception, undercover among the men who once ruled the streets. But while he faces criminals in the dark, one question lingers quietly. Who will protect Sam when he's not around? If you enjoy stories of courage, love, and quiet strength, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay close to Sam and Lee's journey. The first light of winter filters through the trees, soft and golden, painting Sam's small garden in a quiet glow. Dew clings to the tomato leaves, tiny droplets shining like pearls. She bends down, fingers brushing the cool soil, her breath forming faint clouds in the chilly morning air. The air smells of earth and new life. Sam's hands move with calm precision, tying ropes, driving bamboo poles deep into the soil. The poles stand upright like guardians, holding the promise of fruit yet to come. She pauses to wipe the sweat from her forehead, sunlight catching the strands of her hair. Each knot she ties feels like an act of patience, of quiet strength. The wind stirs lightly, rustling the young leaves. She stops for a moment, looking at the half-finished trellis with a tender, almost hopeful expression. Her garden is small, but everything in it breathes life. From the neat rows of vegetables to the faint scent of grass carried by the morning wind. She has built it piece by piece, season after season, until it became her own kind of peace. The bamboo poles creak slightly as she adjusts them, the sound soft, steady. She imagines vines curling around them, climbing upward until fruit hangs heavy and red. The scent of damp soil fills the air, rich, grounding, familiar. Even though Lee isn't there, she keeps working. She turns her worry into rhythm, her loneliness into small, steady movements. In every tied knot there's a silent promise that when he returns, everything here will be waiting, alive, growing, ready. The sun climbs higher, turning the frost to silver mist. She wipes her palms on her apron, steps back, and gazes at what she's built. The trellis stands tall, clean, simple, sturdy. A quiet structure of faith. The garden hums with life, leaves whispering, bamboos swaying gently, a few distant roosters calling across the valley. Far away, in another world of concrete and smoke, Lee walks into danger. But here, in this small patch of green, Sam's world continues to breathe softly, unshaken. The billiard bar is dim and smoky. A haze of cigarette smoke swirls under flickering neon light. The click of billiard balls echoes through the cramped room. Sharp, rhythmic, cutting through low voices. Two men from the Black Dragon gang sit in a corner, half hidden in shadow, their whispers tense. "Good thing Ho helped us last time," one mutters, voice rough. "We'd have rotted in jail." "The cops here are useless," the other sneers, flicking ash onto the floor. "No one dares touch the dragons." They talk about their latest job, the payoff, the risk, the boss who tolerates no mistakes. The air feels thick, the kind of heaviness that carries both danger and familiarity. The door creaks open, a man steps inside, quiet, unfamiliar, unremarkable enough to be forgotten. His clothes are plain, his expression calm, his gaze careful. He orders a drink, eyes scanning the room as if he's measuring every sound, every breath. It's Lee, disguised, his posture slightly slouched, his presence blending into the noise and smoke. He picks up a cue from the rack and joins a table. The first shot cuts through the air. The white ball spins cleanly across the felt, strikes another, and drops into a pocket. Another follows, then another. Heads turn. Who's that guy? Never seen him before. Lee doesn't answer. His movements are smooth, deliberate, precise. The more he plays, the quieter the room becomes. The air tightens. Suspicion begins to rise, silent and steady. The black dragons watch him, eyes narrowing, conversation fading. "Keep an eye on him," one whispers. Lee lowers his head slightly, hiding the faint curl of a smile. He's been noticed. That was the point. The first step in any infiltration is to make the right kind of noise, just enough to be seen, but never enough to be known. When the game ends, he wins. The loser grumbles, tossing the cue aside. "Man's got luck." Lee wipes his hands, approaches the men at the corner table. His tone is low and even, the rhythm of someone who's lived too long in hard places. "I'm from Bakwang," he says. "Just got out after 3 years. Smuggling charge. I play to pass the time." The men glance at each other, wary but curious. One lights another cigarette, the flame flickering against his narrow eyes. "You play too good for a hobby," he says, voice half challenge, half invitation. Lee meets his gaze. "I heard the Black Dragons run this area. Maybe you could introduce me." "You think it's that easy?" "No," Lee replies, calm as still water. "But I can fight. I can work. I don't scare easy." The two exchange another glance. Something in his voice, steady, quiet, real, sounds too natural to question. "Leave your number," one finally says. "We'll see what the boss thinks." Lee writes it down slowly, deliberately. "If I get in," he says, "I won't let you down." He folds the napkin, slides it across the table, and nods once before walking out. The room exhales behind him, smoke shifting, tension loosening just a little. Outside, the night air is colder. The neon lights flicker, painting green and red flashes across the wet pavement. He pulls his coat tighter, breathes in the metallic scent of rain that hasn't yet fallen. His disguise is perfect, his act convincing. But under that calm surface, his chest feels heavy. Every step he takes deeper into this dark world is a step farther from Sam. From the garden, from the sound of bamboo moving in the wind, from the light he's trying to protect. He walks on, the street stretching before him, endless and narrow. Somewhere far away, Sam is probably finishing her work, brushing soil from her hands, unaware of the danger that's begun to circle. In silence, he moves through the night, a man divided between duty and love, between what he must do and what he hopes to return to. By late afternoon, the light thins and lengthens, laying pale gold across the garden. Shadows of bamboo mark the soil like quiet ladders. Sam rinses her hands in a shallow basin. The water runs brown, then clear. Footsteps crunch softly on the path. "Hello, Miss Sam," a warm, steady voice calls. She turns. Mr. Duke stands at the gate, cap in hand, boots dusted with the road. Relief loosens her shoulders. "Oh, hello, Mr. Duke. Is something wrong?" He shakes his head, a small, reassuring smile in place. "No, just news. Officer Lee is fine. He's on a special assignment." His tone softens. "He asked me to check in on you." Sam's gaze drops to the rows, straight, neat, holding to their lines in the cooling air. When she looks up, there's a tremor in her voice that she tries to swallow. "He worries too much," she says, almost to herself. Then steadier. "Tell him I'm all right. Tell him I'll wait." Duke nods, as if tucking the words somewhere safe. "Good. Still be careful." His voice lowers. "Your stepmother has been asking around again." Sam's smile narrows but doesn't break. I know, she came by the market. I kept my distance. He glances over the garden with a practiced eye. You've done well. It's beautiful here. A pause, half a chuckle. He'd be proud. Tomatoes were his idea, she says, brushing a leaf with the back of her knuckle. When they're ready, I promise to bring some to your unit. I'll hold you to that. The light catches the brim of his cap as he steps back. Then more firmly, if anything happens, come straight to us. I will, she answers. They share a quiet moment. No hurry, only the small sounds of evening arriving. A hen calling from the coop, bamboo tapping lightly, a motorbike far off. When Duke leaves, Sam walks him to the gate and stands there until his figure folds into the amber distance. The air smells of damp soil and clean leaves. She closes the latch gently, palms lingering on the cool metal. He's out there somewhere, she murmurs, not as a wish but as a truth. Come back safe. Twilight settles. The garden hums in a lower key, cradling the last warmth of the day as the sky slips to grey. In the city, night lifts like a curtain, and the billiard bar wakes for its second act. Neon buzzes in uneven pulses, smoke braids itself into the air and hangs there, heavy and slow. The click of balls moves through the room like a metronome for other people's plans. Lee returns. The same coat, the same quiet mask. A man gestures with his chin from a shadowed table. "Boss wants you," he says, gruff and brief. Lee follows him down a tight corridor where the walls feel too close, past a door with a handle polished by other hands. Inside, a single bulb throws a cone of light onto a scarred table. A man sits there, older, thick-shouldered, one eyebrow cut by an old white line. His eyes have the stillness of deep water. "You want in?" the man says, not asking. "I can work," Lee answers. "I follow orders." "Orders," the man repeats as if tasting the word. "Loyalty matters more than fists." A flick of his fingers. "But fists help." A guard steps forward. His shadow tilts across the floorboards. The swing comes fast. Lee waits for it, lets it pass close enough to stir his sleeve, then turns, sets a hand, and the guard hits the boards with a breathless sound. The bulb hums. "You fight quiet," the boss remarks. His mouth shifts, almost a smile, almost not. "Good, keep your phone close. We'll see what you're worth." Lee inclines his head, the respectful angle measured. "You won't regret it." No one helps the guard up. The room keeps its own silence. Lee steps back into the corridor, and the bar's noise swells around him, bright and false. On his way to the door, he stops at the counter, lays down bills. 2 tables. The bartender nods, says nothing. It marks him as someone who knows the house rules and pays them without being asked. Outside, colder air greets him, thin and metallic with the hint of rain. The neon shivers across the pavement, green then red, then dull again. His breath ghosts, disappears. Elsewhere, under a fainter sky, Sam lights a small lamp. The flame trembles, then steadies, threading slow gold over the kitchen wall. She pours hot water over tea leaves. Steam rises and softens her face. She sits for a while with both hands around the cup, listening to the night the way you listen to a child breathing in sleep, attentive, grateful, a little afraid without a clear reason. She thinks of the trellis holding firm in the dark, of vines that will find it by instinct. She thinks of how some structures look simple until the moment you need them, and only then do you feel their strength. The tea cools, she drinks it anyway. Outside, the garden keeps its own watch. Closer to midnight, the bar thins. What's left is residue, a few men hunched over their last game, a woman sweeping ash into a pan, the bartender counting, recounting, closing. Lee takes a seat near the window. Neon crawls over the glass, staining his reflection in restless color. He takes out a small phone, dials and waits. When the line clicks, his voice is low and clean. "I've made contact," he says, waiting for the next move. The reply is quick, no ornament. "Copy. Stay dark." He ends the call and puts the phone away. For a moment he watches the window as if it were a shallow river, his own face moving under the surface, hard to read. In this light, he looks older, or maybe just farther from the place where age matters. Hunger arrives as a reminder rather than a need. He orders something plain: rice, corn, boiled potatoes, food that asks for nothing and gives enough. When it comes, steam winds up in thin lines, disappears into the smoke above. He eats slowly, the grain, the salt, the faint sweetness of corn. Each mouthful is honest and distant at the same time, as if flavor belongs to another life. The cue balls clack and roll in the next room, uneven like rain on a patched roof. He keeps his eyes on the table. Chew, swallow, breathe, the body's old instructions. He lets the bar drift to the edge of hearing and fills the space with a garden. Bamboo rising, leaves trembling under a pale frost, soil that holds the day's warmth like a quiet secret. He can almost feel the coarse rope in his fingers, the knot biting down and staying, the way a promise stays when you tie it right. Sam's voice arrives without sound, only a shape his chest recognizes, the steadiness of it, the patience that never asks for headlines. He imagines her rinsing dirt from her hands, closing the gate, turning once to look at the ruse before the dark takes them in. A stray laugh breaks from the remaining table. Someone pockets the 9 and swears softly. The bartender snaps the till shut. The sweep of a broom draws a grey arc along the floor. The ordinary world keeps moving, indifferent to what the heart is trying to hold. He finishes, folds the paper neat, squares the corners with 2 light taps, the way he does when he needs to give his hands a job he can control. He warms his fingertips around the tea glass, breathes in the faint trace of rice still hanging in the steam. "Stay safe, Sam. Just a little longer," he says, almost not speaking at all. Outside, engines pass, one low, one high, then nothing. The neon falters, recovers, falters again. He stands. The chair legs rasp against the floor, a soft, tired sound. He pulls his jacket close and steps toward the door. The night meets him with a thin wind. He exhales and watches the cloud form, lift, and vanish. Somewhere behind him, the bar's sign stutters and holds. Somewhere far away, a small garden breathes under winter's careful hand. He starts walking, and the city absorbs his footsteps the way it always does. An undercover officer, a quiet street, the weight of a promise. Sometimes love doesn't stand in the sunlight. It waits quietly in the dark, trusting that the other heart is still beating, somewhere under the same sky.